Alright, Turner, let's take a look at, kind of what you're doing with the driver. If we take a look at your setup, I like it. You got your right foot further back than your left. We can see some of the chest. You got your arms hanging below your shoulders, and you got a pretty good bend forward. I mean, all very good, very orthodox setup. Definitely an improvement over December where we saw a real high right shoulder. Your shoulder line was pointed away left, and the club ended up following that. If we kind of play the swing through, all in all, we got a pretty decent move. I know you mentioned from time to time that you feel like you don't get through a shot, but based on this one, you got your hips both facing the target, weight on your left heel, you're up on your right toe, the club swung around your head. I don't know, how you can get through it much better than that. Probably the biggest improvement I've seen is going to be most evident about right here, where we'll just draw a line on the shaft so it's easier to see. And if you remember, back in December, the first thing we saw from here is your hands go out this way, the head of the club basically follow, and the club got way over the top, way in front of you. And what you've done in just a few months is done a real good job holding your shoulders back, and you're going to see with your shoulders still turned, your arms start to swing, and that allows the shaft to flatten out and the club to really get on, a pretty good plane where it's right between your arms, which is always, a good spot to give yourself a chance to hit a decent shot. And all in all, you really make a pretty good move there where the shaft flattens, it gets on plane, and like we said, you got a shot to hit it, make a solid golf swing from there. Before we would have seen the club head, out here somewhere, the handle pointing way left to the target at this point, so definitely a good thing. If we take a look at your swing from face on, we'll just play it through once. And now let's go ahead and, kind of take a little bit more of a look at it frame by frame. So again, if we kind of take a look at it frame by frame, really good job of making a full shoulder turn. You got that lead left shoulder basically behind the golf ball, which is what we're looking for. And then on the way down, initially, you do a pretty decent job of holding on to a lot of the angle we created. And, we'll go through just kind of the full swing. And you get through to, again, you got your head over your heel type look, some reverse C there, and, just a pretty, I've told you before, I really like your finish, and just, a pretty, decent looking move with the driver. I know you've, expressed an interest in hitting it further, and basically to hit it further, we got to do one of two things. And basically from here, in terms of adding distance, we just got to get the club to move as fast as it can, as quickly as we can, which means getting this end of the club right here to this golf ball, basically as quick as possible. Again, speed in golf comes from getting this end of the club here, the club head to move faster, not from getting the shaft or the head to move faster. And I think just by, not even necessarily knowing what you're doing differently, but just the thought of or the intent of getting the club head to move faster, regardless of, what you read in Golf Digest or what you see on TV, just trying to figure out your own way to get that club head to move faster is a lot more beneficial than, say, trying to hold on to lag or angle longer in your golf swing. From a speed perspective, what I kind of see down towards the golf ball right in here is it just looks like, you know, you kind of, from here forward, you just kind of hold on to the club a little bit. There's not that freewheeling nature of the club just moving fast. So I think the idea of trying to get that club head to really, letting that club head swing and really getting it to move through impact and beyond impact into your finish would really definitely add some speed and you know, in turn add some distance. So again, a couple ways I think, you know, we can practice to add speed is, like I said, you know, just, you know, not necessarily even at the range, maybe at home, just make some swings and see how fast you can get the club head to move without a golf ball there. Swing, you know, not as hard as you can, but swing as fast as you can and maintain your balance. And I think training for that speed will eventually blend into your golf swing a little bit, where, like we said, some of that your normal speed will just happen to increase. The other way is, I think, that split handle drill. You know, get your hands, say, 15, 18 inches apart, and just see what you need to do in order to line the club up or get the middle of the club, you know, make it kind of a half backswing position, and see what you need to do and feel what it, you know, what it's like to make the club head move fast and to line the club up and have it point at your middle right at impact. And from a speed perspective, I think those are, you know, really good ways to train speed or learn how to do things quickly or fast. The other way, without adding speed, to add distance is, you know, obviously increasing your attack angle. If we look at a driver off a tee, and that's a terribly pixelated picture. Let's see what we can do. Here, this is a better look at it. You know, in order to maximize distance, regardless of club head speed, we want to catch the ball on the upswing. And you can see here, it looks like the club's just kind of moving, you know, either level or probably just a little bit down. And we want the opposite look. We want to see the club moving 5-6 degrees on the upswing. So how do we do that? A couple things we talked about. We've talked about just the idea of, you know, getting your left shoulder real high and kind of yanking that club up. You know, another thought that's always a good thing is move the ball way forward in your stance. So like out here in front of that left foot. And just, again, make swings where you make decent contacts. In order to do that, your body's got to get in those positions, allowing the club to swing on the upswing. Probably the best drill is get a pillow or an impact bag, something like that, and make swings where you try to get it to roll over the top of itself, versus, you know, just slide out in front of you. In order to do that, again, you're going to push off the ground. Your left shoulder is going to get high. Your right shoulder is going to work down plane. So we'd see, if that happens, you know, down in here, we just see a little bigger shoulder tilt. The shoulder would probably be further left, so more over your heel, and just higher, and your head might even be further behind the golf ball. And you know, the club might even be lined up a little bit better here, pointing more towards your belly button like it is there just earlier in the swing. So again, I mean, what you need to work on in your golf swing in terms of getting it on a good path, controlling the club face, the same regardless of the club. But in terms of what to do differently with the driver, figure out a way to hit up on it and train yourself for speed. And I think you'll go a long way in terms of hitting the golf ball further. Thanks.